back. I'm Leila.
And I'm Laura.
And this is For Your Penjoyment, a show about fountain pens and the joys they bring us.
Brought to you by Pen Boutique.
So how are you doing today, Laura?
I'm doing pretty well, except I'm a little confused still.
Confused?
Well, we just refurbished the store. It's completely different. It looks beautiful, but it's taking me a little while to kind of get my bearings and figure out where everything is because we've rearranged it a lot. It looks amazing. And our team, they just put in so many hours. They did totally
they went above and
mind-blowing
beyond,
how beautiful everything looks, how different everything is. Especially Aurora, she led the whole initiative. And Fauna and Lauren and Lena did too. They all worked on it and just wow. When I first saw it, I was just it feels like a whole different store almost.
I was kind of excited to work yesterday.
Yeah.
There were some growing pains having to figure out where everything was.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it was a nice open space.
I love how it's a lot brighter now,
Definitely.
too. Yeah, and the new Mont Blanc displays just look...
It's gorgeous.
So beautiful.
It really just opens that section up.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's very exciting, but I'm also, a little... Yeah, it takes a little while to feel like I'm a little lost, and but I'll get used to it.
You certainly will.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I was sick for the better part of a week.
Yeah.
But I am back. I am in action. I'm feeling festive because today's Valentine's Day.
And you've got a little bit of a deep and husky voice.
Got my sultry after-hours voice going on right now.
It's like pen show after hours.
So what pen are you using today?
Oh, well, I am using my friendship pen.
I love it. Please tell our community about the friendship pen.
This is my Caran d'Ache 849. Is that what it's called?
That's
I'm so bad with numbers. Which I fell in love with this super bright fluorescent pen, and I couldn't decide which colors I liked best. And then I tried swapping the caps around, and I realized it's even better two-tone. So my friend Leila here...
Also using my friendship pen today.
Yes. We decided to each get one and swap caps.
That's right.
And we each chose our fave combo.
That's right.
Yeah, I've been using this pen a lot for the past week.
Same.
I put Pelican Brilliant Red in it, and I really like the combination. It's not red. The name is a misnomer. It's like a weird kind of in-between orange and pink kind of color. And it's got sheen. It's got gold, yellow sheen.
Oh, wow.
It's really cool, and it writes really well in this pen. So, yeah.
I love it.
What do you have in yours?
I've got Diamine Hope Pink.
Ooh,
matches
nice,
the pink barrel perfectly.
Matches my orange.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. We both using that. And we didn't do it on purpose
No, we
either.
certainly didn't.
No.
Valentine's Day is a good day for friendship pens.
Sure it is.
I like it.
Yeah.
Friendship love is just as important as any other. So we've got some new products in store for you.
We do. We have a lot.
We have a lot from Lamy today.
Yes. The Lamy stuff is pretty exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, we have their new Safari spring releases.
Yeah.
We've got 2 colorways for this particular pen. I certainly am.
Let me get it. Okay.
So we've got Violet Blackberry.
These are so different.
And when you uncap it, the grip section is this beautiful violet color.
Very intense.
And then you have Pink Cliff, which appears to be just an indigo safari with a matte finish. When you uncap it, reveals this brilliant pink section.
Okay, so those are 2 super bright.
2 super bright.
And very non-bright on the outside.
Yeah, I thought the finish choices were interesting as well.
Tricky.
This one's matte. This one's glossy.
Yeah,
it was interesting.
Yeah, they're the same in that they're both two-tone, but they're not matched texture-wise.
Exactly.
Huh. Very interesting.
I like it.
I love the weird name, Pink Cliff.
Pink Cliff, yeah. It makes no sense to me, but I kind of love that it makes no sense.
I love weird names. Weird names are the best.
Definitely. It also comes in rollerball and ballpoint.
And
matching
ink. And wait. Matching cases.
Pen sleeves,
This
that's
is the
right.
Pink Cliff case.
For Pink Cliff.
And this is the, what's it called?
Violet Blackberry.
Violet Blackberry.
Perfect.
Okay. Ooh, that looks nice together.
Yeah.
And I swatched the ink the other day. I was very excited to swatch. So this is the Violet Blackberry ink.
Very nice.
And I've got the swatch right here. Now, this ink has incredibly gorgeous gold sheen.
Oh, wow.
That's
something special.
It's like a deep kind of mauve-y purple color.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe not mauve,
Definitely
but yeah,
berry.
kind of berry, but kind of murky and dark and moody, like you like.
I do.
But it's got this gorgeous gold sheen, and I didn't use it in a real pen yet, but with the dip pen, it was so smooth. It felt like, whoa, really, really, really liked it. I can't wait to try this in a real pen. Now, the Pink Cliff ink is not pink. It's not pink. It's cliff colored. So there's the pink cliff. And here's the
It's
box.
a nice indigo.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's nice. It's got a nice, almost sheen, sort of a, I don't know.
Some shading to it.
Well, yeah, sort of has a little, I don't know what term to call it, but yeah, and it wrote really nice too.
Excellent.
Yeah. So they're nice. I like the inks.
I like them too. We've also got some ballpoint releases from Lamy.
Oh, yeah.
We have the new Lamy Econs. Well, they're not new. They released a silver one, but we have new colors for the Lamy Econ. We have
Oh, wow. I love these colors.
black.
Well, I mean, that one's pretty
Classic.
standard, but that's not what I was reacting to.
We also have indigo.
Uh-huh. That's a nice indigo.
Now, here's where it gets fun.
Yes.
Apricot.
Ooh, I love that one. wait.
Matches your
Yeah,
shirt.
matches my shirt.
We've also got raspberry.
Ooh,
It's a beautiful color.
that's very pretty, too.
And then we have lagoon.
Oh, I love this one, too.
Oh, it's so
I
punchy
like
and
the
pretty.
combo of these two.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we have C.
Oh, I like that one, too.
That's very pretty. That matches your blues in here.
I know. And I like this pen.
It's got a very soft clicking mechanism.
Yeah, it feels super smooth, and it's got this cool detail on the side that's sort of like a little metallic slot.
Mm-hmm.
It's
very
kind of
nice.
sophisticated
Nice
looking.
little sleek ballpoint.
Feels nice. And it's got sort of a soft texture
matte
to the
finish,
outside. Yeah. Those
Cool.
are pretty.
I like them.
I don't usually get super into ballpoints, but these are nice ballpoints.
Exactly. And then lastly, from Lamy, is the Lamy Econ. I'm sorry, Noto.
Noto.
This is indigo.
Mm-hmm.
And we have chocolate as well.
Part of the just brown trend again.
That's right. Lamy's staying on trend.
Oh, this is like one of those triangular grip kind of styles.
And it has the soft matte barrel.
Uh-huh.
And then the grip section's got some shine to it.
I like how I like that contrast.
It's a nice contrast.
I like how it feels in my hand, too.
I do too.
Yeah,
And it's
that's
comfortable.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like this feel of the
The clicking as
yeah.
well.
Oh, and I just noticed this. It's flat.
Yes, it is.
The button is flat.
It's very flat. I like that a lot.
That's a cool design. They both are.
Yeah.
Nice.
We've got some releases from Monteverde.
Okay.
We have the new Invincia Vegas in fountain, rollerball, and ballpoint. I'm just going to show you a couple of them.
Okay.
So they come in
Ooh.
this beautiful speckly green color.
Oh, wow.
They have the nice black nib.
You know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
Maybe this is silly, but when I looked at it, I thought about Pop Rocks.
I kind of like that. It kind of looks like the packaging for Pop Rocks.
Yeah.
We've got this lovely yellow as well. Here's the rollerball.
Ooh. Huh.
I like the contrast of black and yellow. Typically, they're my college colors. I can't get away from them.
The contrast in these is really nice. The spotty parts really show up.
I agree. And then we've got the blue and black.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Another rollerball.
Nice.
Very pretty. And then this one speaks to my teenage little like pop punk heart. The combination of hot pink and black.
Oh, wow.
I can't get away from it. I just love it.
Now, to me, that's more of a purple.
It's
It's sort of like
let's meet in the middle
straddles
and
the
call it
line
fuchsia.
between the two. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I like
like
that a
that
lot.
one. Yeah, that one's my favorite.
It's cute.
That's cute. It is cute. That one kind of reminds me of like graffiti, like
Yeah,
paint
it's a little paint
splatter
splatter.
kind of thing.
I love it.
Yeah, huh, interesting.
This might be my favorite release from Monteverde.
Okay, let's see it.
Now, normally I have not gravitated toward the regatta.
Okay.
I think it's a little bulky, but I think my brain was just waiting for the right color to come out.
Okay, let's see it.
Because we have the Piet Mondrian artist series.
What? Oh my
We
gosh.
got the roller ball.
That's so cool. I love his art. Oh
I
my
love
gosh.
his art as well.
I love
that's
art.
stunning.
Art that's like very rectangular like
Yes.
that. I super go for it. I don't know why. It just really appeals to me.
And we have that fountain pen as well.
Oh my gosh.
And it's got that beautiful magnetic closure.
These are cool.
And when you buy the fountain pen, you get a bottle of ink as well.
Oh, wow. Oh
me show you the
yeah.
bottle
The
of
ink
ink
has
right here.
the
Has the
I love
design
that.
on it. Clever detail. I love it.
Wow. I always wanted like a piece of clothing with this.
I used to have a pair of glasses.
Oh, glasses.
Yes, with that print on it.
Oh
Oh, they
my
were my
gosh.
favorite pair. I called them my party pair.
These are really cool and different.
I might have to get one. I'm inspired.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then, second to last in terms of new releases, we've got a new Edison pen. Well, no, a new colorway of an Edison pen.
Okay.
We have the Edison Beaumont in River's Edge.
Oh,
Now, our coworker Lauren would call this a fruitcake pen
Yes,
because
she
of the
would.
color blocks in it. But I think it's very cohesive. You got like your sandy colors, your watery colors, your mossy colors.
Sort of like a little rosy color in here that I really like. This is pretty.
I like that a lot.
Huh.
And I love Edison pens. They're smooth writers. They make me incredibly happy. This color edition
Ooh, it's
does
got
it
a
for me.
big nib,
It has
too.
the number 6 nib. That's
oh
right.
my gosh. That's nice.
I like it. Lastly, we have a new to us platinum release. We have been waiting for these to come in since October. They're finally here.
Oh my gosh.
We've got the new platinum desk set.
Oh, wow. This is so different. And just in time for Valentine's Day.
It comes in red as well.
You know what this would be perfect for?
Oh, God. No.
It's like Cupid's arrow.
That's what you're going with? Okay, we'll go with that for the time being. So we've got Cupid's arrow and black.
Red and pointy.
It's a nice tapered desk pen, and it comes with the.
so vintagey. I
Yes.
used to have a vintage pen a lot like this.
It caps classically like any platinum pen, like the Preppy, like the Profounty, so you won't dry out. And if you wanted to, we have the desk stand as well. So you just insert it in, sits right there,
Oh my
ready for
gosh.
use on your desk.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Wow, it sticks in there really.
Yeah.
How do you get it out?
There
okay.
you go.
Oh, it snaps in.
Mm-hmm.
I like the shape of this nib.
I do
That's
too.
nice. Now, is there a red one too, or is it
The
two-tone?
desk set, the desk holder is just black, but the
you
pens
could
come
do
in
a
the red and black.
two-tone look.
I like that.
That's cool. Part of our two-tone trend.
Part of our two-tone trend.
Huh.
Very cool.
This is very cool.
Mhm.
I like that. Bring back the desk pen.
I think it's a clever little product.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we have in the way of new products right now. You know what, Laura?
Yeah.
I love ink.
I
think-
hate ink.
Oh, okay, Miss 1003 Inks. Thank you very much. So, as a pen collector,
Yes.
not only do we amass a lot of pens, we certainly collect a lot of ink.
I definitely have a lot. Not quite 1003.
Oh, but you're
I'm
getting there,
getting
I'm
there.
sure.
Yeah.
So Laura happened upon this 17 ink questionnaire from Lisa at OliveOctopus.ink.
Yeah, I saw this on the Link Love section of Well Appointed Desk,
Very
which
nice.
I love reading that every week. She always links to such interesting
Yeah.
articles, including my blog sometimes. But yeah, I found this meme really interesting, and I shared it with Leila. And
It's definitely a thinker.
Yeah, it's got a lot of cool questions.
Yeah.
so-
Let's go through it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about ink. Let's show some swatches. Let's have fun with it.
Yeah.
All right. So the first question of the questionnaire
Yeah.
was, what was your first memorable ink? Do you want to tackle this one first?
Well, you said you just remembered yours. I want to hear yours because I can't wait to hear it.
I remembered it this morning in the
Yeah.
shower.
Okay.
So if you recall, my first fountain pen was given to me by my friend Vernon.
Right.
And in that bundle of pens and stationery, he gave me a bunch of inks.
Right.
Now, there were brands I had never heard of before because I was completely new to this. So the first color I gravitated toward was the Monteverde DC Super Show Teal.
Ooh,
that was released for the DC Pen Show. I can't remember what year. It may have been 2019. But
that goes along with your hair and all these. You've been mentioning a lot of
teals and
blue
yes.
inks, not inks, but inks and pens, and
that was the first thing I inked my
pen
with.
So it's not a new love of yours. You've been into the tealy shades for a while.
Yeah. So for a first timer, that was the first thing I gravitated towards.
Interesting.
What about you?
So when I got my first pen, which was a Pilot Metropolitan, it came with a cartridge, of course. But then my parents, for my birthday, got me one of those Pilot sets with the mini inks in them. It had 3 different mini inks. And one of the inks in there was Yamabudo.
Oh.
And I just fell in love with that ink right away.
It's a gorgeous
It's
color.
so beautiful. And I was actually looking at the Fountain Pen Companion recently and seeing what their top most popular inks, meaning like most people own that ink.
Yeah.
And that's the number 1 ranked most owned ink.
How cool.
I don't usually do popular things, but Yamabudo is, it's popular for a reason.
I love it.
It's so pretty. It's got that sheen on certain papers, and it's bright, but it's not like so bright that you can't use it in,
everyday use.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's so pretty. I just fell in love with that ink. Yeah.
Next question. What is your favorite ink bottle design, and which bottle or cartridge is your favorite to use?
I liked this question.
Yeah.
I like this question a lot.
I mean, I think of things in 2 terms, like beauty and practicality.
Yeah.
So, like, for practicality, for me, what's easiest to fill, the Anderillium bottles, they have that nice wide neck.
Oh,
You're not fighting with the neck
like
to get the nib in there.
a jam jar or something.
Kind of like a jam jar. Super practical, super straightforward. So for fill purposes, love those bottles.
Cool.
Pretty bottles to look at. I like it when Diamine releases the large versions of the ink vent bottles.
With the little feet?
With the little feet. There's something special about them. I think they're cute. Yeah.
Okay, so my answers are completely different.
Let's hear it.
For my top beauty pick is the Urishizuku bottles. I like the curves in them. I like how there's like a kind of a wide part at the bottom that's glass where you get the light that shines through it and it just looks beautiful. And that little divot at the bottom that helps you fill your pen when the bottle's getting low. Really practical, but also looks beautiful. Just such perfect touch. And I like the boxes, how they're silver, and they've got those little ties, almost like a little necktie. Right. I don't keep my neckties or my silver boxes, but it makes it feel so special when you first open the box. But another one that I really like is the Waterman bottle because it's got this cool faceted shape.
Yep.
And you could tilt it when the ink's getting a bit lower and it'll stay at an angle and that helps you fill it. Yeah.
Yes.
And I like that it's very similar to their vintage bottle shape. It's not identical because I have a vintage ink that my friend that got me into fountain pens gave me. He had one and he gave it to me.
Oh, how
so I have one of each. But yeah, it's quite similar. It's not identical, but I love that it pays tribute to that.
So yeah, it's an homage. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So those were my 2 picks.
What is an ink you love or find useful but would not use for everyday writing?
Gosh. Okay, so I got to admit, I loved this topic so much, I decided this 17 questions. I'm writing my blog about this topic too. And when I was answering this part, I just went on and on and on and on forever. So
you going on and on and on about something? Never.
Yeah, So I'm going to have to tone it down right now. But I had a lot on this list. Do you want to go first so I don't get out of control? God. And then I'll
I can't. See, because I use so many colors.
Yeah.
like, again, I've said it before, I don't own a single black ink.
Okay.
So
wow, really?
Really.
I didn't know you said that before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I explicitly use colors.
Yeah.
There's no color in my collection that I wouldn't use every day.
Wow.
And it's all very mood dependent. And, you know, whether I'm having my teal day or my orange day, anything. So no colors are off limits to me.
I love how Leslie's like giving you a little
Leslie
shoulder
give her a little
massage.
pat on the back, a little
Yeah.
reassurance. She's like, you go, girl. And I'm like, all right, thanks, Leslie.
That's interesting. Okay. So I had a ton of inks.
I'm sure you did.
Because I like to collect ink samples. And I just like tons and tons of different colors that I use not just in my pens, but also for painting. I paint with ink as if it's like watercolor.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of colors that aren't practical, to me at least, to use in a fountain pen because they're like too light or something like that.
Okay.
And I don't like, I know some people do, but I like a lot of contrast between my ink and the page. If it's too light, it's hard for me to see it.
I agree.
I don't like that.
That's one thing I should have said. I don't.
But you wouldn't buy an ink like that.
I don't trend towards pastels.
But I
because of
would,
that, right?
because I like to paint with that type of ink.
Oh, sure.
So I have a bunch of inks like that I love the color of, and I love to paint with them, but I wouldn't put them in a pen. So some of the ones that I thought of right off the bat were a bunch of Robert Oster inks, shimmer ones that are like kind of pinky mauvey kind of colors.
They're gorgeous.
So pretty. I had rose gold antiqua,
Yes.
rose gilt tint, barossa gilt, violet clouds. Those four just like, they're so gorgeous. Another category of inks that I have probably about 10 different ones because I kind of collect them are like really pale peach kind of colors, which would look awful in my opinion in a pen, but I like them for doing skin tones.
That makes sense.
When I'm painting.
Sure.
And I've been sort of on a mission to find my favorite one, and I have a couple favorites but I'm always looking for more and trying more.
Yeah.
My two favorites so far have been Sailor Ink Studio 173.
I like that
one I've used a lot because it's got sort of this beautiful luminosity like real human skin, and it's one of those multichromatic inks, so it's got color variation in it the way real human skin does. And I also like Brunch Date from Colorverse.
Ooh.
Those two are my faves so far.
I love that.
Okay, two more categories, and I'll shut up about this. I like to paint with bright yellows.
Not practical.
Do not
for writing.
like that for writing. You can barely see them when you write with them,
Mm-hmm.
but in a painting, they look beautiful. And my favorite one is, I'm probably going to mispronounce this. You know French, you can correctly. It's Bouton d'Or, or something like that.
That sounded right. Bouton d'Or.
It's from Gerban, and it's this beautiful, clear, bright yellow. It's like the most pure, beautiful yellow I found, and I really like that one.
I love that.
And the other category I do not like to write with at all, bright red inks. They're just too harsh for me, and I often have trouble with them clogging my pens.
I'm the same way, except my aversion to them just comes from like high school trauma of having papers corrected.
Exactly. Bad, wrong.
I know, and red ink makes me think of that all the time.
So my favorite bright red ink, it's a little bit of an orangey red, but I love the intensity of it, and just it's beautiful, is the Monteverde Ruby. Sorry.
The Monteverde
Ruby.
Pretty.
I've used that a lot when I want a nice, intense, beautiful red.
I love it.
Yeah.
Where do you discover new inks? Being in the
Boutique?
store helps. Yep.
Yeah.
Every time a new shipment comes in, I'm the nosiest of nosy.
Yes.
I want to stick my nose in
yeah.
the box. I want to find out what it is and
When
swatch it
Joy
immediately.
brings new bottles of ink up to the store, I'm like, ink. Yeah.
Ooh, exactly.
So I had a bunch of ideas for this one. So, yeah, new stuff that comes in looking through our ink book, we
ink
have
books.
these huge ink swatch books. Customers will tell me about inks that I wouldn't have discovered otherwise that they're really into.
Instagram's a big one as
Instagram. I love the Mountain of Ink blog.
Yes.
Whenever I consider buying an ink, I always see if she's reviewed it. Yes, her reviews are amazing.
I hear you.
I mean, I learned so much about ink just from reading that blog, and I've been a fan of it for a long time.
Very cool.
And the other good place to discover new inks is a pen show, because they often have ink testing stations and stuff. Yeah.
Now, this is an obvious question for you. Do you use inks for anything other than writing?
Yeah, I already talked about
That's
that
right.
for painting. What about you?
I have wanted to paint with them. It's something that I mentioned several videos back. Like, this is a project I would like to undertake. Well, your girl's been writing too much and not painting as much. So right now we're strictly writing and doodling.
Okay.
Yeah. What is an ink worth hoarding?
Ooh, this was an interesting one. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your answer for this one?
Oh, God, my favorite of all time, Writer's Blood.
Oh,
If they ever stop making that color, I would be heartbroken.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
So I'm not really a hoarder, but I thought about what inks, if they disappeared, I'd completely freak out and I'd want to get more. And I have Waterman Tender Purple, Harmonious Green from Waterman, Inspired Blue from Waterman,
Wow.
and Sailor Siboku. That's the one I use in my Hexo.
Yeah.
It's a nano-pigmented blue ink that's got beautiful shading, beautiful sheen, works so well in my pen, and it's waterproof, so I can use it for art, like go over it with ink or with water, and it sticks to the page perfectly. Yeah, that's a really good ink. Really
cool.
into that one.
How do you choose which ink goes into a pen? Do they have to match? Do you always use the same ink in that particular pen?
This was one I went on forever, so I'll try to not. You'll have to read my blog to know all the...
Yes, please take a look at Laura's blog. It's got to be a really great post. You get passionate
I had fun
about
with
stuff.
this one. This was like a more fun topic than I usually do, because I didn't have to do a lot of research. I just had to...
You just had to feel. You had to
some-
feel the inks.
Yeah.
So what would how do you choose what ink goes into your pen?
Okay, so it asked about if they have to match. Now, when we first read this question, you glommed onto that part because you like to match a lot.
I love matching, yes.
Now, do you match all of yours or most of yours?
Most of them. Now, say I have a lot of swirly multicolored pens.
That's true. How do you match that? Just choose one color in there
Choose
to
one
match?
color per fill. Like the first time off the bat, it's going to be the predominant color in the pen because that's just what my brain will latch on to. But then once I look at the pen, you really feel the nuances of the colors and everything. Then I'll go for those secondary and tertiary colors to fill the pens with.
Okay. So I think it was like around 10 pens that I do match. Either match color-wise or always have like a certain ink that I use with that pen.
Okay.
Not necessarily the same color as the pen, but for example, I have an orange pen that I put fuchsia ink in, and it's just like the perfect ink for that pen, and I like the combination of the colors.
Is it your Royal Tangerine?
No, it's not. It's a Pilot pen that I've had for a long time.
I was just curious.
I don't put fuchsia ink in my Royal Tangerine, actually, and I don't match that pen at all.
Really?
Nope.
So that's a missed opportunity for me in my brain,
know.
in my little matchy brain.
Some of the other ones that I match are my Grape Twisby Diamond Mini. I match that with the
glistening.
Yes.
Yeah.
It really looks pretty. And I have some others that I always match, but the majority of my collection, I have about 40 pens right now. The majority of them I don't match. I just use whatever ink.
Go on feeling.
Yeah, just an ink that I'm into or whatever. And a lot of my pens are black or other solid colors, and I have a zillion ink colors, so I don't want to be confined by the colors of the pens that I have,
Makes complete sense to me.
Yeah.
Now, do you use ink samples? If so, is your goal to eventually buy a bottle, or get a smaller amount of ink to use.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hoard ink samples. I like ink samples when I get them. I usually fill up the pen and, okay, there was that sample.
Oh, so if you use it up, you're like, meh, move on
For
to
the most
something
part,
else. You don't
yeah.
get a new instance of the same sample or buy a full bottle.
There are rare occasions in which I do.
Interesting.
But usually I just use up the ink to experience the
I'm the
ink.
complete opposite.
Tell me.
I have tons of ink samples.
Mm-hmm.
Like drawers and drawers full. I keep them in those little vials, and I have test tube holders, and they're super organized.
Your organization's amazing.
They're organized by brand, and then color within the brand, and the brands are organized by the country that they're from. So, like, I have all the German brands in the same tray, and all the like European brands, and the Asian brand, the Japanese brands, the North American brands. Yes.
My goodness.
Quite organized.
I like that.
Of course, I have a whole bunch that I haven't organized yet that are just in a big mess all over my desk, but let's not mention those.
They'll get there.
But yeah, I have lots of samples, and I buy them not to just try and then either buy a whole bottle or forget about. I want to have that ink in a very small amount because I like to have a lot of variety when I'm painting. And, you might have a similar ink, but it's got different attributes to it, different sheen, or maybe it looks different when you dilute it, or there's all kinds of things that are different between the different ones. So, yeah, I love samples. I keep a ton of samples, and if I'm using up a sample of something I really like, I often will get another sample rather than buy the full bottle, unless it's something that I know I use in my pen regularly, like those Waterman inks I mentioned, or the Subuco, or, I have some Sailor inks I really love. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have a bunch of bottles too, but way more samples than I do bottles.
I hear you. Is there a popular ink that is just not for you? What underhyped ink would you like to see more people try? You know what? It's For Your Penjoyment.
Okay.
By nature, I can't diss anything.
Really?
Yeah.
But this question is asking us to diss something. It's just not for you. The reason I was grinning diabolically when you read this question is, don't kill me,
I wouldn't.
Writer's blood.
Ooh. Okay.
I know it's one of your favorite inks.
But that's totally fair.
And it's very popular. Customers love it. It's one of the highest ranked inks on the Fountain Pen Companion database. Nice. But I tried it, and it just didn't do anything for me. I just wasn't into
offense.
it. Thank you.
Now, here's...
Wait. I want to mention another one that's similar to that.
Yes.
Another very popular ink that I always see people mention as a favorite, Earl Grey.
Yeah.
It's just sort of gray. Like, people mention that it's purplish, but I never have experienced that. I bought a sample of it. I was excited to try it, and just, I wasn't into it.
Yeah.
But I know plenty of people, it's like their favorite gray ink. So,
I hear you. No, I got a cartridge of it once in a trade with a friend. It was great. That was cool. And then it was done, and I haven't thought about it since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But underhyped. So the second part of this question. What do you think is underhyped?
Okay, because of my love for teals and blues and petrol type things. Yeah. Why aren't more people talking about Kujaku?
Oh, yeah.
I love that color.
That was my first big bottle.
I know.
It's a beautiful color.
That's what makes me happy about knowing it. I'm like, it's gorgeous. And like the undertone is perfect.
It is really cool.
I love that color.
Yeah.
What about you?
So for me, the one that I thought of was not one particular ink, but Waterman inks in general. Like, people, I think they're kind of stodgy, boring. Waterman, they've been around forever.
Yeah.
But some of the inks, especially Tender Purple, are so gorgeous.
I just gifted a friend
Tender Purple has amazing sheen. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful color.
Say what you will about Waterman, that ink is just special.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love Waterman inks. And they're so well behaved, too.
I have no complaints. What do you do with any unused ink when you clean out a pen?
Drink it.
Don't drink the forbidden Kool-Aid, Lauren. Laura. I almost called you Lauren. Because she always threatens to drink the ink water.
Oh, no, she does.
I'm like, Lauren, go clean that out. And she'll just go hold it up to her mouth just to mess with me.
I love Lauren.
Lauren's great.
Yeah.
You know,
what do you do with it?
Oh, it goes down the drain.
Yeah.
Straight down the drain. If it doesn't resonate with me, or if I know that there's a better color match for this particular pen that I'm actually like really compelled to and excited to try, my impatience gets the best of me. I'm like, and I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't try to save it or anything like that. And definitely don't put it back in the bottle.
Certainly
That's
not.
a bad idea.
Sacrilege.
I mean, it could contaminate
It
your
certainly
bottle.
could.
But sometimes, I don't do this very often, but sometimes I'll like kind of squirt it onto a piece of paper, like nice paper that shows sheen,
Cute
and
little ink
play
splat
with
moment,
it, kind of like, you know, dilute it and just make the water flow around and create kind of a beautiful thing, just if I'm in the mood and
I like that.
want to see it. But, yeah, otherwise, no.
What
Goes
is the
down drain.
most unique ink you've used or seen?
I think we both had the same answer for this one, didn't we?
We may have.
Well, my immediate thought was the Monteverdi color changing inks.
Oh, yeah.
They are pretty darn
They're
unusual.
pretty unusual. Absolutely.
That was really fun when I did the blog about those and played around with them.
And I still want to play around with them for art purposes.
They are so different from other inks, and you can get some really cool effects out of it.
I agree.
What did you think of? Was that what you thought of, or did you have something
That
else?
was part of our initial conversation, now that I'm remembering that. I can't think of any individual ink that I've thought of, oh, this is different. Oh,
Right.
Well, with the exception of the ink that we don't carry.
What?
Organic Studio Nitrogen. But then I tried Colorverse Supernova and the Blue Dragon. So there's some in that family. But Nitrogen was my first exposure to an ink with that much sheen. So, it's a bee to clean out of things, though. It's a beast. How do you catalog, swatch, track, and store your inks?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, Lord. I can only imagine your storage system. Because your sample system is kind of amazing. You have this piece of furniture.
Yes, I have this piece of furniture that was meant to be a kitchen island. It's an IKEA piece of furniture, but it's like big and heavy. And it's got a whole bunch of small drawers, like shallow drawers, so they're the perfect size to put ink in.
Ooh.
And it's important to keep your ink out of the sunlight, so it's good to keep them in drawers like that. So I've got my test tube vial holder things in these drawers, and then I've also got my individual bottles in the drawers.
Very nice.
And I do swatch my ink, but I'm very behind on swatching. I use the color ring swatch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I really, really like that. I've been using it almost right from the beginning, so I have an insane, very unwieldy amount of coloring swatches at this point. It's just out of control, and they're so hard to organize. I really want to organize them in color order, but it's so hard when you're trying to put colors in order.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my gosh. I like organizing things, but wow, that's challenging.
I hear you.
Yeah. What about you?
So I'm a basement dweller, so I don't have to worry about natural light coming in.
Okay.
So my inks are in a series of crates that are stacked up on each other against the wall. So like a little mini shelf. And I have them separated as best as possible by brand.
Okay.
So like Diamond has its own thing, Colorverse has its own thing, et cetera, et cetera.
Cool.
Swatching them, I used a blank little Rhodia notepad, one of the first notepads I got from Vernon in that sack of stuff. And I swatched them in order that I get them.
Okay.
One day I would love to take out
That's
each
cool,
page
though,
and
remembering what
catalog
order
them.
you got things in. Wow.
I should have taken a dip pen and written dates, but instead it's just the name and
Is
swatch.
it a like a spiral notepad or not?
Stapled.
Flippy.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
And
I'll
you
put
have
a
a-
piece of cardboard underneath each individual page just in case of bleed through.
Uh-huh.
I'll take my cotton swab,
Yeah.
swatch it, and then with a dip pen, write the name and brand,
Okay.
let it dry, close the notebook up, and it's just there.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I do my coloring ones, I get a paintbrush and I go across the bottom so it's more saturated on one end and then sort of, gets a lot lighter on the other end. And then I get a blunt syringe and I drop splats from up high, so like a really concentrated splat.
Yeah.
I do like maybe 3 of them. It's not always the same number. So if it's a really sheeny ink, those will be like pure sheen. And then once those 2 things are dry, I write on it. I used to use this to write, actually, the names. And then I switched to this weird, like, Frankenstein pen that I made using a vintage nib and a modern pen body.
Oh, that's funny.
And then now that I have the Sailor...
The Hokoro?
Yes, I'm using that. I really like that.
I love it.
This was fun to use, but always sort of temperamental, so... It's better
Understood.
to use it to tease you with.
I can feel it happening already. I know I've answered this like maybe 5 times over at this point. What is your favorite ink color / color family?
Say it again.
Teals and blues and petrels.
Yeah.
Again. Yep. What about you?
For me, it would be purples and mauves.
I love it.
Yeah. I have tons of purple inks,
Mm-hmm.
like way more than I need, but I love them. And I always have too many pens filled with purple ink at the same time.
Purple's such a great
Like right
color.
now, I think I have about 4 pens with purple in them.
I have at least 4 pens with various blues.
All right,
I totally get
that's
it.
a perfect number then.
Exactly. What ink-related tool or accessory can you not live without?
My blunt syringe.
I was about to say your blunt
Yeah.
syringe. Yeah. Q-tips.
Okay.
For swatch purposes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go more eco-friendly and go with a brush. Now that I'm hearing myself out loud,
It's a pain to clean them, though.
I'm sure it is.
It looks nicer, but it's a pain to clean it.
Understood. So I can see both sides of it. I will stick with my Q-tips.
Yeah, I use my blunt syringe a lot, not just for the splat things.
But for samples.
Right, for doing samples. It's useful for cleaning a pen or a converter, like to squirt water in there and clean it out. And yeah, I have a lot of different things I use it for.
Sure.
I don't know what I would do without my blunt syringes.
Now, have you ever mixed inks or used shimmer additives?
Horrors! Absolutely.
And I have said absolutely not. I just
Really?
accept them as is, yes.
Oh.
But tell me about your mixes.
I started doing it right away. When I got that first set of 3, I mixed 2 of the colors together and made a purple because there wasn't purple. I actually have a bunch of different inks that I've invented that I actually named, and I've written down what the formula is and everything, and have like little, either a vial or even like a mini bottle that I've made of them, and I use them quite a bit actually. I don't use any of them right now, but yeah, most of them are made out of Shizuku inks, different combinations.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Such well-behaved inks.
Yeah.
What is your favorite ink delivery system?
I don't have a favorite, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think they're all okay.
Yeah. Bottle, cartridge. Works for me.
Oh, I interpret this to mean like piston fill or cartridge
or eyedropper or
yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're all good.
Yeah.
As long as I can
I
write
mean,
them
I don't
happy.
have any eyedropper or vac pens yet.
I don't have a vac pen, but
all the other types, I don't really have any strong preference. I do not buy cartridges and use the cartridges, but I do refill cartridges with my blunt syringe and put different ink in them. So
I have 1 pack of cartridges, which is for travel purposes, just because I don't want to carry a couple bottles of ink. It's
yeah.
but that's about it. Last question.
Already?
Already.
Okay.
what inks are you excited about right now?
Right now.
Yep.
Let's hear yours.
Oh, gosh.
Or do you want to trade off?
The Blue Dragon. The colorverse
yes.
Blue Dragon.
Oh, my gosh.
The original one without any glistening components to it.
And you got a bottle.
I got a bottle gifted by a very dear pen friend. It's in my white and black Lamy Safari. I use it almost every day.
Oh,
It's a great ink.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I want to try that ink too, but we sold out.
I'll give you a
got
vial.
the last bottle, but we're getting more. But yeah, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to try it.
I will give it to you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
Well, I have a whole bunch on my list.
Oh my!
As usual, I got out of control.
You're very passionate about inks.
A lot of mine aren't new, but I'm just really into them.
Sure.
So that's what came to mind. Andrelium Colossal Squid Dark.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Really love that ink. I mentioned this one already, but the Sailor Siboko, the nano pigmented one.
Yeah.
Platinum Chokoro, that darkest black in the whole wide world. That's really cool.
I love that.
And it really is super black. And it's not scary either. It's not badly behaved. I haven't had any problems with it. I know some people are like, oh, it's going to disintegrate your pen or something.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're supposed to clean it with distilled water.
As long as you behave well with it, it behaves well with you.
Yeah, I have it in a Preppy, and it's been perfectly
Excellent.
behaved. It hasn't clogged it or anything. Colorverse Supernova. I've been crazy about that for a while.
That's a beautiful color.
Beautiful sheen. Diamine Astral from the Inkvet calendar.
I can't wait till they release the big bottles.
I know. Oh my gosh.
That might be the closest to black that I will ever get with an ink.
It's so pretty. It's a chameleon ink, and it's got this amazing shimmer that shifts from like green to gold. It's there's no
special.
ink like that. It's really, really cool. And the other one, I don't even remember how I discovered this one, but I've just been really into it lately. Sailor Ink Studio 735, which is a purple, and it's got a lot of sheen, and it's just, I'm using it in my blue, what's the name of that pen? The Sailor, but what's the name of that color? I don't remember. My 1911 something, is it Stormy Sea?
Stormy Sea?
Stormy Sea. So it doesn't match it at all, but I don't care. I just like it in that pen.
Yeah.
It's so pretty. I love that color.
I love it.
I'm really into it.
Well, excellent. That was a fun questionnaire. That was a really good find, Laura.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
like doing these little questionnaire kind of things.
And hopefully we've inspired you out there to try some new inks
And
that
we
haven't thought about.
And I want to hear other people's answers to these questions.
Comment
too.
down below if there's a question that resonated with you want to share with
Yeah.
us. Please do. I'd love to read your responses.
Me too.
So, since this episode is coming out on Valentine's Day, I wanted the silly segment to revolve around that. Laura,
Yes.
what would you consider to be some of the most romantic inks? Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I hated this question.
I can see how you would.
Now, I'm the one that suggested this
You
question.
certainly did.
But
But in practice, you were like, why did I do this to myself?
yeah, I wasn't in the mood, so I asked a friend to help me with this one.
You got help from a friend?
I have some friends, Leila.
Oh, I don't doubt. Okay. I don't doubt that. I'm not a jerk.
I asked my friend Penelope, the pelican.
Well, Penelope, what did you have to say?
She actually came up with a really great list. She's quite romantic.
All right. Let's hear this romantic list of yours.
So she grouped them into 3 groupings. I don't know if it's like morning, afternoon, and evening romance, maybe. I'm not really sure, but these are the ones she came up with. And she told me that she just, went with her gut, but she chose colors that the name and just the appearance of the color were romantic to her.
Yeah, okay.
So her first choice is Violet Clouds
Ooh.
from Robert Oster, Summer Storm from Robert Oster, and Diamine Enchanted Ocean.
Okay, this is a beautiful color story
I know.
that she's created. No, that's gorgeous. That's moody.
I thought so,
There's a
too.
passion there.
Maybe this is like the Dawn romance. I don't know.
I can see that.
I'm not sure how she did the...
Well, let's see the others, and then we can
All right, so the
categorize that
next
way.
grouping she did was Anderillium roseate spoonbill pink,
Nice, I like that.
a fellow bird, of course.
Fellow bird.
And then Mont Blanc swan illusion plume.
Interesting.
Very romantic.
Very.
And then Pelican 4001 brilliant red. That color I was
That's
talking
not red
about.
at all. Yep.
Yeah, it's like an orange color.
Mm-hmm.
So that's her afternoon
Interesting.
romance, I guess. Not sure.
The colors are a little bright. I would say it's more morning. It's a little more charged.
Okay, maybe this is dawn and then this is
Yeah.
morning. Okay, and then this might be the evening romance here. We've got Anderillium colossal squid dark,
So pretty.
Pelican violet,
Love that.
and Monteverdi ocean noir.
Ocean Noir is one of my favorite inks. That's gorgeous.
Thank you, Penelope.
Thank you, Penelope, for all your help.
She's a very good friend.
She's so funny. Now, when I heard the question, like I was just going strictly on color name, but
Yes.
but really the color name does fall in line. The color just fall in line with the color name.
Oh, yeah.
Like my gut impulse was to say Robert Oster's Burgundy Chocolate Notes.
Right.
I just love
you
that
blurted
color.
that out the minute I mentioned
Instantly.
this topic.
And
That's
then,
a beautiful ink, too. Yeah.
Waterman Tender Purple. Mm-hmm. Diamine Raspberry Rose.
Ooh.
Yeah, those were my first. That was my top three
Yeah.
when I heard this question.
Very nice.
But the groupings that Penelope created. The groupings that Penelope created are stunning.
Yeah.
I
You
love
did a
them.
nice job.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, folks. We hope this Inky episode was inspirational and topical. Again, comment down below if you have any ink input. Like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more For Your Penjoyment updates. And until next time, keep writing, and we'll see you soon.
Stay inky.
Stay inky.
Have a good Valentine's Day, whatever you
Absolutely.
do.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Bye.